Leave it to Japan that during the craziness that's going on in the world and how badly they're hit with the big V right now, to still plan the rollout of a brand new arcade game or a card arcade game with a Transformer spin on it during these crazy, crazy times. Now, Hobby Decky Web magazine, their online website, has released information of the brand new Takara-Tomy Roboka Battle Card game collaboration. Now, this is a arcade card game. Now, for people that aren't familiar with what those are, and it really is a genre that is completely lost in the West, just absolutely not known to most Westerners who just play video games, especially those even who played video games in the 90s and the 2000s and even in the arcades. Now, what the arcade card genre is, and this is something that dates back to the early days of Dragon Ball and Ranma 1/2, these are arcade machines that have a system where you put in 100 yen or $1, and you would be given right away a random trading card that is inside the machine. They have a ton of them inside there. And this trading card, related to the genre of whatever the arcade game's style is, will be like, it'll be a character card or a support card. And then afterwards, after you get your character card, support card, on this card, it'll usually have a barcode, or in the 2000s, a QR code. And now most of them today, they work with a magnetic memory card inside most of these cards. But they would work in this way that they would interact with the arcade game. And it led to customization. So when you got this one card, you would start the game and it'd be like, do you want to use one of these pre-built characters, or do you want to use your character card or support card that you got from the machine here? And it encouraged this play pattern where you play the game, you win more cards, you get a free card every time you play anyways, and you build up a little deck and you make your own team roll out and fight against whatever monsters or characters. And this was used for the Dragon Ball franchise in the 90s, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, Ranma 1/2, Tenchi Miyu. Like, I could just, name hundreds and hundreds, but it was a very popular concept that just kept going for years and years and years. And the closest that we've had really in terms of Transformers with this idea was when Transformers Animated came out in Japan. They did a similar idea, which was called Transformers Animated Battle and Chase. And so you pretty much, every time you played the game, you were given a random card that had a robot mode and an alt mode. And these were animated characters, and you would roll out your characters. And as the game progressed, you got so many cards, you could roll out your own choice of characters of a team of 3. It was a very fun concept, which was totally lost on us Americans who never got to enjoy it. Same thing, one of the sister franchises of Transformers, Gyro Zetter, also had a very similar concept. That was probably the last one in relation to Transformers before this that kind of had that kind of spin too. But these things have always existed in some shape or form and have never stopped in Japan, with all the different franchises, Ultraman and Dragon Ball being probably two of the most common ones. But there was an attempt at one point in America to kind of start up this, and there was a obscure 2000 anime called Dinosaur King, and they tried in small local areas to test run Dinosaur King arcade card stations in America. Didn't really work out. It was a bit of an obscure franchise to begin with, kind of late to the boat with the Pokemon popularity and Digimon, and it just never grabbed the attention. And so the arcade card system in America just didn't happen. But it's still trucking along stronger than ever here in Japan. And now we have, like I said before, coming out in April of the 23rd, 2020 in Japan. This is when the operation rollout begins for Roboka Battle Card game collaboration with the Transformer Cyberverse card character line, the Takara-Tomy Shikai Leon line, which is their bullet train, Brave inspired kind of robot series. Also has an anime, has a toy line, and then their brand new one that they're going to be rolling out as of this month. And this is, we'll get into the whole promotional connection here. Their Earth Grainer line, which is part of their Tomika line. Tomika Earth Grainer is, well, Tomika in general is kind of Takara's version of I guess we'll call it Hot Wheels. They've always had kind of their own little die-cast kind of line, and now they're kind of doing this merger of like die-cast meets giant robot, and Tomika Earth Garner is going to be, the die-cast car mounts onto this giant mecha robot, piloted by a little kid. Kind of has a very Megas XLR kind of look to it without the giant robot head instead. But it's a concept that they're taking their 3 big robot properties, merging them together into this one arcade card game line, and you could have fun, build up your team and everything like that. Now, like I mentioned before, the same process works where you go up to the machine, put in your 100 yen, you're going to get one random card, and then you could create your team. The goal essentially is if you only have the one card, you could pick between the 3 main characters of each kind of line. So you could choose to have a pre-rolled out Bumblebee, a pre-rolled out Shike Leon, or a pre-rolled out, I believe it's Graner Leo from the brand new Graner line, or Garner line. Now, the plan is you build up a deck of these, you have a whole bunch of character cards, a whole bunch of support cards, and then the next time you play the game, you put 3 of your favorite character cards, 2 of your favorite support cards, and then you have a proper rollout, and you could challenge in a turn-based system the computer and move through the story of the game. And this is all mostly in the end to promote the brand new anime that will be coming out also July 23rd, which is that of the Earth Garner anime. So if you're also looking for some new transforming robot material during the quietness of the end of Cyberverse and everything like that, I'm pretty sure some people are going to be translating and fan subbing the anime as it rolls out. So that'll be another thing kind of to look out for. One of these, like, again, I call them the cousin series of Transformers that are out there when you're kind of you're hungry and you want to be satiated for some Japanese Takara robot action that isn't the robots in disguise. Now, also with this promotion in Japan, they're going to be doing a rollout of people will be able to get a lucky draw Tomika figure. In this case, the SP Core Graner Leo gold-plated version figure, which is really just a die-cast car in all gold. There's only going to be 100 of these, and they will be done through a lucky draw situation. Also, within the machines themselves, of all the cards that are in the machine, there will be rare cards, too, that'll be in low numbers in the machine. Obviously, you could pick up Bumblebee, you could pick up Optimus Prime, the Cyberverse versions of different star powers and quality in this game. But there's also rare versions of these cards. Currently, right now, the rare that is available is going to be the Shike Leon E5 Mark II Overcross E6 from the Shike Leon line, but there probably will be, after this recording, a whole bunch of rare Transformer cards that'll be put in it too in lower numbers. So this is an interesting, again, it's something that we really haven't had in Transformers outside of when they did the animated one and the Gyro Zetter one, if you want to go distantly to the cousin robot series. But at the end of the day, this is something really cool, but unfortunately we won't be able to enjoy it. Number one, because it's in Japan, and number two, it's in Japan during one of the most craziest times right now in the world in terms of travel and getting around to that country. So, but it's still cool to report and talk about, and hope that one day, in some shape or form, we'll be able to enjoy this. And maybe if this picks up and it does have more interest, they might choose to bring it over. I know that Hasbro many times has been considering bringing over some of Takara's other brands to kind of fill out their library. And I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future we could see some of this being a reality here in the Western